All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday webinar from Redtail Technology. My name is Jonathan Maddock. I'm a trainer over here. Today, we're going to be talking about a Redtail essential, which is email. So we know that emailing our clients is a very quick and easy way for us to communicate with them. So today, we're going to be talking about how the CRM utilizes email. So we're going to go ahead and get started on how we set up the email, our preferences, meaning, what server are we going to be sending the email from? Then we're going to be taking a look at a way for us to send individual email through the CRM, and then also take a look at those bulk communications using the broadcast email feature. We're going to go ahead and dive through those. And then we're going to finish up with the email templates and talking about how we can manage our broadcast emails. So to go ahead and get started, we want to go ahead and head up to the top right-hand corner. We want to click into our preferences section. So if you've been a Redtail user for a while, you know that preferences is going to be a user-specific options, right? So how I see my preferences is going to be different than how somebody else in the office may see them. So what we want to first take a look at is we're going to go scroll down a bit and we're going to go into the email section. So it's quite a ways down. It's practically to the end. But once we're here, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the options that we have available to us. So the first one is going to be, it's going to say email client. Now, email client is going to allow us to either, when we click an email in the CRM, it's either going to prompt our default mail program on our computer. So that may open up Outlook or Mozilla's Thunderbird or Mac Mail, whatever you are using, or you can select it to internal. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to send the email directly from the Redtail CRM. Now, for anybody who may be wondering, well, hey, if I send through the CRM, what server does it go through? Very good thought or question. And the way that we're going to set up what email server it's going to go through is by setting up our SMTP server name. This stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. I like to consider it send mail to people, right? So these are going to be settings that you're going to have to acquire from whoever is hosting your email. So maybe your broker dealer is hosting your email, maybe Redtail is hosting your email, or maybe it's an Exchange server. You're going through Microsoft or something like that. So wherever you're hosting your email, you want to gather that information. So there's going to be a domain, the server name. You're going to put in the port, whether you're using an SSL, which is a security option there. And then you're going to log in with your username, right? So this would be the email username that you're logging in with. By doing this, this will then allow you to send the email through your mail server to the client, but from the Redtail CRM. Now, I think of this as like the post office, right? You are going to use the CRM to send your letter, but the post office is actually going to be the one to deliver it, right? So we're going to use the CRM to compose it and then send it over to the post office. And then your domain is then going to be the one that's going to distribute it to the receiver. Now, as we scroll up here, there's another option, which is email display name. Now, this is going to allow you to select when the client or whoever receives the email, what is the display name that they will see? So if you're using it on an individual level, you may want to put in your first name. So you could put something like Jonathan Maddock. Or if you're sending it from the office and maybe you're more of an admin and you're sending it on behalf of the whole entire office, you could then put the company name. Like we have here, we have Redtail Technology. Now, if for any of those who want to add a signature to your emails within the CRM, you can do so in this email signature box. Now, what's cool about this is that if you're using your Outlook or any sort of Exchange or anything like that to send email or Zimbra from Redtail, what you would then go ahead and do is you can make whatever service you're using, that email look exactly like the one that is going to be coming from the Redtail CRM. So you can put in all of your signature. You can bold what needs to be done. You'll see that there's a WYSIWYG editor, so we can underline things. And what you're also going to see is we have this image right here. So this image is actually hosted on the internet. And we have the ability to go ahead and drop in the image that is hosted on the internet right into our signature, so that as we're sending out those individual emails or sending out those broadcast emails, again, it's going to look exactly like the same way that it comes from our Outlook. Now, to do that, I can delete it. And again, the image has to be hosted on the internet because it's going to go ahead and the system is then going to pull that image. So what we can do is I can hit this icon right up here at the top, or this image, and you can do this really on any internet browser, and you can go to copy image location. So if I were to copy this and I open up in a new tab and I hit enter, you're going to see that the image is now hosted, and that's the image location. Now what I can do is I can go back into the email preferences, and I can select where I want the image to go, and I can use this little picture icon right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drop in this image, and it's going to ask me for the URL. So I'm going to take that image location that I have up here. So I would just copy this, or I can just, like I did earlier, I right-clicked and I copied image location, and I can just go ahead and hit paste. Now by doing that and hitting OK, you're going to see that the image immediately goes back into the signature. And now when I send out those emails, it will have that image in there. So that is going to be setting up the email section. But again, you're going to have to provide you're going to have to acquire all of the server name and information and put it into the CRM before you can do any email communication. So once that is all done, we're going to head off into a contact record. So let's go ahead and take a look how we can send an email individually. So we're going to go into Reed Richards here. Now, what you'll see is that if I have an email on file, I have and my option is selected to email internal, meaning that it's going to use the internal CRM system. We can go ahead and click on the email address, and you'll see that a compose message box comes up. From here, we can start composing that message to the individual user. So you'll say earlier we said it's going to come from Redtail Technology, so that's the display name. Then the email address is going to be after it, because that is the email address that is associated with our login. We can do all of the exact same things that we would do through normal email. We can CC somebody, we can give a BCC, and then we can go ahead and attach that an attachment and give it a subject. What you'll also see at the top is we have the ability to select an email template. Now, when doing this, we're going to talk about this in a second about acquiring or building templates. Well, you could then go ahead and click into any one of the templates that you've already created. So we'll use this one for our prospecting email number 1. It's our introductory email. We can go ahead and select that, and it immediately pushes all of that template information right in there. It's also using the signature that we had created in our preferences, so it's going to add that in there as well. What you will also see is these tags. So it says # or hashtag, depending on what generation we're from. But you'll see hashtag first name. Now, these are going to be email-specific tags here. There's about 17 that you have available to you. So you have things like first name, last name, spouse name, spouse last name. You also have first name, nickname. So you have the ability to go ahead and the system will pull a nickname. If the nickname is not available, then it will pull the first name. So that way you don't have to worry about being so proper when you're emailing, right? I have a Richard in my database, but he goes by Bobby or Dick or whatever it may be. And then we want to go ahead and pull that nickname. So again, we'll use those tags to put in that information on the template level. And then we can go ahead and fill out all this information. The other options that you have is save copy as note and send me a copy. So you're going to see that we selected the template. So that's why it marked those automatically. However, if you do not start from a template, you will need to make sure that you click these on or off. The option for save copy as a note will send the email and it will send it, and it will just do that. It will save a note or a copy of the email that we sent as a note on the contact record. Also, send me a copy will then send a copy of this email to the email that is where it's coming from. So it would send to this email. Now we're going to go ahead and select the template again, and we're going to mark both of those complete, and you'll hit send email. And if I were to give this a quick little refresh on the contact record, you're going to see that the note was created. And if I need to click into it, this is what it's going to look like. So this is the correspondence that I made. It was to read at baxterbuilding.com. And then it says hi first name. Obviously it would pull the first name. However, this is to no surprise, this is a fake email address. But it will go ahead and pull that first name, which would be Reed. Now, that is going to be for an individual level, right? So that's if I want to go ahead and communicate one by one. Now, if I want to go ahead and send email on a bulk level, so something like a broadcast email, I can do that by creating a list and using the bulk actions option. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to contacts, and I'm going to just pull up any one of the lists that I have available. So I'm going to go into my quick lists, and we'll go ahead and pull out a specific group of people. I like all my active AAA clients with life and 401k plans. Right? It's a very specific group. So you'll see that the criteria is there, and I have 4 contacts. Now, if I want to send an email to all 4 of these contacts, I can check the box up here at the top. As a best practice, I recommend also clicking this hyperlink, because within the search function, it's only going to go ahead and pull the first 50 contacts. However, you may be sending out to 55 or 100. So just get in the good practice of clicking select all, and it will select all contacts that were in the search results. Once we've selected the contacts that we want to send this email to, we can head over to the contact options button here, and we can go down to bulk actions. Click into bulk actions, and this is an alphabetical list, so we're going to take a look at broadcast email. So we'll go ahead and click into that, and it's going to look very similar to our compose message for sending to an individual. The difference is that it selects the 4 contacts that we want to send to. Now, what I want to make very clear here is that this is going to be an individual email to send to all 4 contacts. This is not going to be, one email sent to a bunch of BCCs, right? So it's what I always consider the Oprah of emails, right? You get an email, you get an email, and you get an email. So once that's all selected, you have a very similar options: save as a note, send me a copy. But also, and I know this from experience, you always want to send or test that email that you're going to send before you go ahead and send off to 50 or so people, right? So what you can do is you can actually send yourself a test broadcast email. So this would go ahead and send a copy of the email before it is actually sent out to all of them, so you can visually see what it looks like. You can double check for spelling errors and things like that. In my experience during my marketing coordinator days, I actually sent an email out to about 3,000 people, recommending that they come have drinks with us at a conference at 5 a.m. I figured it was a little too early to go ahead and drink at 5 a.m. So, it very quickly taught me that I should double check and maybe make sure that all of my times are correct. So you can do the same by hitting the send test broadcast email, and then it will allow you to see it, double check it, and make sure before you send out to these 4, everything is correct. You can also, again, select the template. So you'll see I'm going to go ahead and drop that template in there. and it will pull all the first names for all 4 of these contact records. Then we can go ahead and hit broadcast email, and it's going to go ahead and send an email to all 4 of those. So that's off and going. Now, if we want to take a look at, so I had mentioned earlier the templates, right? So we've covered, sending an email individually and sending it on a bulk action. But now let's take a look at how we go ahead and create those templates. So to do so, we're going to move up to our top right-hand corner. We're going to click our name, and we're going to go into Manage Your Account. What we're going to be looking for is email templates under the Manage Templates section. So you'll see here, email templates. We can go ahead and click into this, and you're going to see that my list already has some in there. So for you all who have never done this before, all you have to do is hit New and start composing the message that you would like. So you would give it a name of the message. So maybe it's holiday party invite, right? So maybe we do some invites through email. We can say something like, "You're invited." Then we can put the body of our email, say something like, "Dear," we'll use hashtag first name. And we can put a comma, and that will again go ahead and pull in all that information. Then we can put the body of the email. And very similar to all the other options that we had, so save as a note, save as a copy, we want to set these as defaults when we use this template. But then also we're going to put here add user signature when sending. So this will automatically pull that signature in there on this template level. So then once we've created the template, we can just go ahead and hit save email template, and the email template will be saved. And now we can go ahead and use those templates in sending out those bulk emails. So pretty straightforward as far as creating templates. If for any reason you want to make adjustments, just feel free to click the action icon and hit edit, and it'll just bring you right back in, and you can go ahead and edit any piece of that template. So we'll go ahead and cancel out of that. And then likewise, you can also delete. So if you feel that this template is no longer needed, hit delete, and it will remove it from the system. So that's going to be templates, and templates are going to be used on an individual level or a broadcast email level. So there's it's one set of templates. Also, something to note about templates is that they are going to be database wide, right? So if I create one template, everybody who has access to the database will have access to that template. Alrighty, so the last thing that we're going to talk about is how do we manage those broadcast emails, right? So we have emails coming through, we're sending out large, those emails. How do we manage those? So we're going to go back into manage your account, and we're actually going to go to where it says email management. You'll see underneath it says manage broadcast emails. So if I go ahead and click into this, there's going to be a couple options. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any data in here. I apologize about that. But we're just not sending out a whole lot of broadcast emails. So you have the ability to see what was queued. So if you maybe queue up a couple of them and you're just waiting for them to be processed, you would see them here. If there's something that's been completed, which we had just done today, you'll see that it was completed. These have all been processed. We can click into the subject and see the email itself. So we can see, oh, this was the context of the email, and these are the 4 people who received them. So you'll see processed, succeeded, failed, total, status completed, and then updated. And then if there was a broadcast email that was still in queue, you have the ability to cancel it before it is sent out. So you would go ahead and see that under the canceled section here. And then under the completed, you will then go ahead and see other action icons. So if there is any failed here, you can go ahead and retry just the failed contact. So maybe we had bad email addresses or something like that. We updated everything. Or just like clicking into it, we can hit details and it will show us all that information again. So that is pretty much the email section. I am actually going to touch on one last thing because this is a very common question. I get a lot of the time, a lot of us trainers get this is, hey, when I'm in a contact record over here on the left hand side, I see this email history. Why aren't the emails going over here? Well, the email history portion over here on the left hand side is actually for an added service called email archiving. So, email archiving is $8 per month. It allows any communication between a registered email address, the one that you're paying $8 for, and an email address that is on file within a contact record. Any correspondence between both of those emails will actually be put into the email history section. So I have read@baxterbuilding.com. My email within our organization is jonathan@redtailadvisory.com. Any communication between both of them, whether it is sending or receiving, will then be in the email history. So again, if you have questions, hey, what is this email history? Why aren't I seeing the emails that I'm sending? Or why aren't they here? That is because this is, again, for the email archiving section. If you have any interest of setting that up or using it, definitely take a look at the our website, or give us a call in the support lines and say, I'd want to add archiving to our services. They can go ahead and walk you through anything that will be needed for that. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. So just to kind of recap, we want to make sure that we set up our preferences, set up the SMTP server settings, add any signatures that we feel are necessary, and make sure that if we want to send an email through the CRM, we have it marked as internal. We can send an email to an individual record or to multiple records through broadcast email. Once we have all those fields set up, we can go ahead and take a look at possibly using email templates through the manage email template section on the Know Your Client, or excuse me, manage your account section. So we can go in and manage your account, take a look at those templates. And then lastly, we can manage our broadcast emails through the broadcast email management option. Thank you for joining us today for this session. If you have any questions, please give us a call at 1-800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or you can email us at support@redtailtechnology.com. Thank you and have a great day.